v28.30 was delayed until February 22nd, so let's break down what this update could be. Now, after the last update, Discord member Jin's in my server went and put his base directly around a river or a lagoon or a lake, whatever you guys want to consider it. Now, the reason why this was so impressive by him was not only just the look of it, it looks absolutely incredible. But the very nice thing about this is we are expecting in this next update to get something in relation to fishing. At the very bottom of the last update, it did mention something about reeling in the fun. So he actually created this lake and it looks like a really solid, nice area for him to actually do fishing if this update has that. So the exact words that Epic used was keep a lookout on LEGO Fortnite's webpage and social channels for news on future updates. In v28.30 update, expect to reel in a lot of fun. Now, what you guys are gonna see me do right now is change every single one of the jobs that I have my villagers on to prepare for this update that is coming a week from now. Now, the reason why I'm going ahead and doing this is because if fishing does get added into the game, food is going to be completely different, so I don't really need players to be making me food as we're getting new items here shortly. On top of that, I'm going to need some items that are actually going to help create these fishing rods. So what I would imagine would go ahead and create a fishing rod is going to be different type of wood, and that'll give you different type of rod. So maybe a common to a rare type of rod, depending on if you're using wood or up to frost pine. That same exact thing could go when it comes to your wool thread, your cords, your silk thread in order to make the line now before you go fishing. And the final thing is going to be what you're able to use as far as a lure or something that is going to bait those fish into biting on your rod. So we have to try to figure out and understand what that's all going to be. So what I did was I set every single one of my villagers to work on something in the grassland. That way they stack me up on rods, wooden rods, planks, feathers, anything in the game that I could potentially use in order to go and make these fishing rods. I'm gonna make sure that my players are working on. Now, about a week ago, I talked about leaks that came out that they were working on different bugs and then the type of bugs that they were worrying about. So we do know that they're working on all of this stuff. Some of it wasn't addressed in the last update, v28.20. So what I'm hoping, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are hoping as well, is that a lot of this stuff that wasn't fixed in the last update will absolutely be addressed in this new one, especially the one that crashes your LEGO Fortnite servers, as that is by far the worst bug that's in the game right now. Now, this is one of my favorite images on the internet because we can see every single leaked item that we've heard about so far. The daggers have already been added into the game, so we know that this leak, as far as the daggers go, has been added. We don't see anything in this game currently that has to do with fish. However, we know that if they're going to be reeling something in, that we should be able to catch fish. We also see on this image that enemies and NPCs that were told about getting added into the game, that did happen. Those boosts to their items actually did happen, and to those drop rates happened, which was absolutely awesome. But the question ultimately becomes, what is next to be added into the game? I don't believe that we get everything in this picture today or next week when this update happens, and I don't know if we get all of this by the next update, which is on March 8th with the new season for Chapter 5. However, we should be seeing some of this stuff start to get added into the game. If we're creating new items like rods and fishes to add into the game, we should be expected to see some things that go along the line of those items, such as maybe a throwing spear to go and try to collect food that way. We also have the zip line that needs a cord added to that in order to use the zip line, so the same thing may be applied to the fishing rod. There's so many different things that are in here that we may see when it comes to that hint, which is reel in a lot of fun, that we could expect things like catapults, zip lines, cannons, steering wheels, because all of those things, in my opinion, do add to the fun. Now, for this update, I can't imagine it being too big. And what I mean by that is to those expecting a brand new biome, brand new weapons, legendary tier stuff, or anything like that, I cannot see this update being the turning point. However, we don't know what they mean by reeling in more fun. We could obviously assume that it means a fishing rod. That's what reeling is. So we could safely say that we're going to get a fishing fishing rod and some fish to go ahead and get. But what we don't know is we don't know if we're getting a new biome, we don't know if we're getting new weapons, we don't know if we're getting new materials or any new type of items in the game. The way that I view this update is we may get something new, but it's just going to continue to be tests to see how many things they can add into the game without completely destroying the servers. And I also hope that this update fixes the servers like we talked about earlier. Now, the thing that you guys see me doing in this video is something that I recommend every single one of you guys to do, and that is to take the next few days to prepare for this update. Again, this is coming a week from now. You guys have about 10 days until this update happens. So what I believe that you guys should do is have your villagers work on very small things like wood, like granite, like marble, like rods and planks, and very small things like that. And you should focus on the more important things: iron, sapphire, ruby, and any rare items that you may be low on right now. I'm very low when it comes to iron, I'm low when it comes to bright core, and I know that I need to get as many of these things as possible just in case we get more out of this update than what we've heard of so far, which is really just rods, which likely is just going to be different types of wood for different variants, and then a cord, silk thread, wool, or something of that nature to then be the rod part of that fishing rod. So frost pine isn't bad to get just in case there are epic style or epic tiered versions of these fishing rods. And then every single type of wood below that could also be a tier of the rod. I could 100% be wrong about that. That is just my assumption on what we're going to get out of this update. Now, before we end off this video, I gotta ask you guys one question, and that is, what is one piece of equipment or one ore or one update that LEGO Fortnite can make to make you fall in love with this game? Recently, when I've asked this question, every single comment has been a steering wheel or it's been some sort of transportation in the game. It seems like a lot of people are struggling when it comes to transportation. So I want to know if there was one update or one thing that you could add into LEGO Fortnite, what would that be? And after you guys comment that, make sure that you guys join the Discord that is down in the description below. Inside of that Discord, I am currently working on brand new game modes within LEGO Fortnite to get you guys involved so I can give away more skins and more items. We just did a build contest, voted on that, and now I'm going to give away a few skins to some people that participated in that. And that is by far not the only contest that we're going to run inside of the Discord. We have some game modes that involve PvP. We're gonna have more building contests and more unique things just like that. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, this was Crafty. I'm out. Peace.